Hello everyone, I'm Ankit and you're watching StudyIQ IS English. In our today's video, we'll try to understand why is Lipulekh Pass in news currently. And the reason is very simple. The new government in Nepal, which is just over a month old, headed by Prime Minister Balan Shah, they've objected to India and China's decision to use Lipulekh Pass for conduction of Kailash Mansarovar Yatra. Now, countering this charge, the Indian government, that is the Ministry of External Affairs, has stated that Nepal's claim in this matter, it's neither justified nor they are backed by historical facts and justifications. But on the other hand, Indian government has stated that we are open to constructive dialogue to solve this dispute. Now, you need to understand, for a long period of time, Nepal has objected both India's and China's decision to conduct trade and pilgrimage through Lipulekh Pass. So in today's video, we'll try to understand what is this Lipulekh Pass, where it is located. Then we'll try to understand why control over this pass is a matter of dispute between India and Nepal and what have been the attempts done by both of the government in order to solve this dispute. In addition to that, before ending our today's video, we'll try to understand what is the geostrategic, economic as well as cultural importance of Lipulekh Pass as far as India is concerned. Okay, so let us start our today's discussion, and the notes which I will be using today, you can also download them by going to a particular Telegram channel called as ATS Live. And while you're at it, please do not forget to subscribe to the channel as well. So let us start by understanding what is this Lipulekh Pass. It is a high altitude mountain pass which is located at the tri-junction of India. So you can understand Lipulekh Pass is here, which is located in India, and here India can keep an eye on China and Nepal simultaneously. So this is a tri-junction pass located at the tri-junction of India, China and Nepal, and geographically it is located in Pithoragarh district of Uttarakhand, which is located in the Kumaon Hills, right? And the elevation of this district is approximately 17,000 above the sea level. Now you need to understand this Lipulekh Pass is also along the line of actual control which India shares with China, and it is also acting as a key point of transit for both trade as well as pilgrimage which happens between India and the autonomous territory of Tibet located in China. Now what you have to understand, why is this dispute happening over the Lipulekh Pass? Now the source of dispute of Lipulekh Pass, it happens because of the competitive interpretations done by both India and Nepal as far as Treaty of Sugauli, which was signed in 1816 is concerned. Now Treaty of Sugauli in 1816, it delineated the boundaries between then Kingdom of Nepal and then British Indian territory, which eventually became what is known as India currently. This Treaty of Sugauli of 1816, it stated that the Kali River, which is also known as Mahakali and Sharda, will act as a border between India and Nepal. So any territory located east of this river, that is Kali River, would belong to Nepal, and any territory located west of this river would belong to the country of India, right? But how India and Nepal looks at this treaty is a source of dispute on who gets to control Lipulekh. So let us understand what are the competing interpretation as far as India and Nepal are concerned. Now Nepal on one hand says that it is in Lipulekh where this Kali River originates. So according to Nepal, any territory located east of it from Lipulekh where the Kali River originates, this territory belongs to Nepal. On the other hand, India states that the origin of the river Kali is below the springs located in Lipulekh Pass. So from here onwards, the territory becomes Nepal, and west onwards, the territory becomes India. However, this, according to India, does not say anything about territories located northwards from the origin of river Kali. So in order to understand which country gets to control the areas north of this origin of Kali River is what is the matter of dispute. India relies on the historical maps that were created during British era, which stated that Lipulekh Pass, which is located in Pithoragarh district, formed British Indian territory, and as a result all of these territories now are under righteous Indian control. Okay, so let me tell you what I've told you just on the map. Now the Nepalese government, as I told you, it states that Kali River originates from a stream located in Lipulekh. So according to Nepal, all the areas east of Lipulekh, that is Lipulekh itself, Lipulekh as well as Kalapani, all of this belongs to Nepal, and these are sovereign Nepali territory belonging to Darchula district of Nepal. And even Nepal's constitutional maps reflect the same in its design. On the other hand, India states that the Kali River originates from a spring much below the pass, that is the Lipulekh Pass. And about the areas located north of this pass, India relies on British cartographic evidences, saying that the administrative and revenue records from the British era, they highlight that the place Kalapani, which is located in Pithoragarh district, belonged to British Indian territory. And this is why the competing interpretations have led to dispute over who gets to control Limpiadhura, Kalapani as well as Lipulekh Pass. Now, what have been the key flashpoints regarding the control of this territory when it comes to relations between India and Nepal? Now, in 1962, India fought unsuccessfully a war with China. So, after the war with China, India's primary security objective in its Himalayan borders became to counter the advances done by the People's Liberation Army of China. So India deployed Indo-Tibetan Border Patrol ITBP in Kalapani and used the elevation of 2000 feet by setting up of a strategic observation post which would keep a key eye on the movements of enemy across the border. And Nepal, on their hand, it views this setting up of an observation territory as an encroachment to its own sovereign territory. Similarly, not very far ago in 2016, when Prime Minister Modi visited on official visit to Beijing, here India agreed to sign and expand its border trade with China, which will happen through Lipulekh Pass, and this was again objected much vociferously in the Nepalese parliament. Similarly, in 2019, after the bifurcation of then state of Jammu and Kashmir into two union territories, when India published its official political map, this also showed Lipulekh Pass and all the regions like Limpiadhura as well as Kalapani inside India, and this became a source of friction between India and Nepal. Similarly, in 2020, India inaugurated a 80-kilometer long road which connects Pithoragarh to Lipulekh, which prompted the Nepali foreign ministries to summon Indian envoy and register a protest. And India, when it passed a new constitutional map, it asserting sovereignty over the region in 2019, this also became a source of friction. Much latest, beyond 1 year or so, when the latest flashpoint have come to light, when India and China have jointly announced that they are going to use Lipulekh Pass to conduct pilgrimage through Kailash Mansarovar Yatra as well as conduction of trade through this pass. So this also became a source of friction between India and Nepal. Has the India and Nepal government done anything in order to solve this dispute? The answer is yes. So what has been the attempt? Let us now understand it. The earliest attempt that was formed was setting up of a joint technical level boundary working group which was established in 1980s to delineate the border. Now this joint working group solved most of the boundary questions that existed between India and Nepal, but it left Kalapani and Susta unresolved. So to solve this unresolved border issues, Prime Ministers in 2000, that is Mr. Vajpayee and BP Koirala, agreed to demarcate the outstanding areas by 2002. But this target was not adhered upon and therefore the dispute persisted. Now India on its part has formally offered a foreign secretary level talks to resolve this dispute. However, these talks have been frequently delayed, first due to COVID-19 pandemic and later due to political dynamics in both of the countries. Now you need to understand this area, although disputed, belongs to or is under the control of India. And Nepali government, any Nepali government, be it present or previous, they wouldn't be looking to give up on this demand, otherwise they would be seen as a weak country in front of a larger power, that is India. On India's part, why is India not willing to solve this issue? Because India originally believes that this bringing up of dispute by Nepal is not originally originating from Nepal. Rather, Nepal is doing this on the behest of China. So India looks at Nepal from the eyes of suspicion. So when suspicion begins, there is a trust deficit that develops, and this leads to persisting, not resolving of any such disputes. Now, why is control of Lipulekh Pass important for India? There are many strategic reasons, economic reasons as well as cultural reasons. So let us understand them one by one. You need to understand Lipulekh is one of the oldest and most important pass that India used to interact with China, right? It even dates back to 1954, predating a nearby Shipkila Pass which is located in Himachal and Nathula Pass by over 5 decades which is located in Sikkim. Now the location of this pass, that is at tri-junction of India, China and Nepal, becomes very important because if you have deployed your army there, if you have establish an observation post there, you can continuously monitor movement of enemies, what is happening across the border. So strategically, for India's security, for India's economic security, this trade route becomes very important. And as a result, India has also deployed a high altitude surveillance and observation post, which is critical for monitoring the movement of PLA across LAC, because India has continuously disputed and fought with China in order to control these borders. Now, the attempt of Indian government to construct a road in 2020 is also a direct outcome of its learnings due to what happened in 2017 in Doklam Plateau. Now, whenever there has been a dispute between India and China with respect to the borders, India have realized one thing, that the ability of PLA and the Chinese army to get deployed across the borders, it's quite high, because they have constructed very good quality roads over the border region, and similar kind of roads are not available in India, which puts Indian army at a disadvantage vis-a-vis PLA. So to counter this disadvantage, to bridge the gap of capabilities in order to quickly deploy your army, India started constructing many strategic roads in the Himalayan region. One of this road becomes that. And similarly, it also helps us in easing of the burden that is faced by the pilgrims when they are traveling to the Kailash Mansarovar using the Lipulekh Pass. And this brings me to the economic and cultural importance of Lipulekh for India. Now, suppose if you're a pilgrim who is wanting to visit Kailash Mansarovar or Mount Kailash located in Tibet from Delhi, you have two alternate ways to travel through Mount Kailash. First is you can take a car, go through Uttarakhand into Pithoragarh and then enter into Chinese territory and reach Mountain Kailash, right? But earlier, there was this challenge. This 200-kilometer long stretch, it was non-motorable, and therefore, people were required to cover this 200-kilometer long stretch on foot by using trekking. So this made a direct route to Mount Kailash via Uttarakhand much more difficult before. So the alternate route that people of India had was that through Delhi, they would reach Sikkim, and through Nathula Pass, they would enter into Tibet, travel again west for a long duration of time, and then reach Mount Kailash. So these were the two options that were open to India. Now, as I told you, these 200-kilometer long trek that you was required to do earlier, now this has been done away with, because the government of India has constructed an important road here, which again was disputed by Nepal. So now, because of this motorable road here, your ability to reach from Delhi to Mount Kailash via Lipulekh has become easier, and as a result, an Indian pilgrim would have to travel 80% in Indian territory and cover the rest, about 16 to 20% just in the Nepalese territory, as against taking a longer Nathula route, which takes a considerable amount of time, and also you have to cover a long distance inside Chinese territory, which adds to the cost, adds to the risk. Right. So this has been what is the benefit of Lipulekh Pass as far as economic and strategic reasons are concerned. Now, this pass lies on an ancient route of Kailash Mansarovar, and therefore covering this track directly from Delhi via Uttarakhand makes it easier for Indian pilgrims, because they have to travel more now inside Indian territory, as against using the Nathula Pass, where you have to travel more in the Chinese territory. Similarly, on the economic side, it enables summer border of trade with China, which happens through these routes, and it ultimately benefits local traders. Similarly, the improved road connectivity now in the Uttarakhand in Pithoragarh district boosts economic development of a remote area of Uttarakhand, which faces economic developmental deficit. So this has been the strategic, economic and cultural importance as far as Lipulekh Pass is concerned from India's point of view. Okay, now before we move on to a practice question, there is an important announcement. The topic that we just covered interplays between geography, polity as well as economy. So similar linkages of topics are very necessary if you have to go and successfully attempt your UPSC exam. This kind of interlinkages we ensure that we provide to our students in resolution batches. In resolution batches, first of all, separately each and every classes would happen for all the subjects that you're required to prepare. And in those classes, when you get the notes, when you get the lectures, you'll realize how interlinkages between one subject and another is possible. And this ability you need to demonstrate in your mains answer writing, which you also get to practice daily in the classes itself. So all of these benefits are exclusively part of resolution batches. So if you want to take admissions, if you're willing to prepare for this exam either in 2026 or 2027 or 2028, you can take admissions for 27 and 28 by using this code ATS Live. If you apply this code before making the payment, you're going to get maximum discounts. And please remember, 2027 and 2028 batches, these are separate batches. So you're going to get acquainted according to the preparation at that period of time. Now, before we end up our today's discussion, this is the question that I want you to solve. I've paired passes with the states that they are located in. Please do let me know which among these passes are correctly matched. The answers in the comment section. If you get it right, I'll give you a thumbs up. Right now, before ending our today's discussion, if you want to download the notes, this is where you'd find it. The Telegram channel is called as ATS Live. So this is all from my side for today. Please have a very good day. We'll see each other again soon.